welcome to financialexpress.com. And yes, let me begin by congratulating you for Darlings. I mean, I loved it. I kind of loved Hamza. So yes. So yes. Tell me something about it. What made you say yes to Hamza? And what was there in your mind when you read the script?
So when I read the script, it kind of, I wish I had not known this part I'm asked to be played. I would have enjoyed the story a lot more because I was just feeling like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this. When I was reading it, I was absolutely loving the script. I felt like it was such a radical, whack idea of a woman taking revenge on this abusive husband. And, and with so many incredible, almost the situations were hilarious. But the matter was very grave. But I was just scared to play this part. I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy is an a-hole of the top order. So I didn't know. So I was in two minds, but I kept getting gravitated towards the story. I felt like this is a story that needs to be told. Like I feel like this director has something that she wants to say. And I spoke to her at length, and she walked me through the process of how she created this and why she wants to say this and how does she see this man, a complete, a person, a human being who is full of flaws. So I think I was challenged by it. I was repulsed and challenged by it at equal measure, but I leaned towards the challenge part and I took it.
Right. You're on top of the game when it comes to playing gray characters. Be it Satya, my favorite from She, or
Yeah, is
Hamza,
it?
or Ankit from Pink. I mean, you have done it so well. Also, it's not easy to play that side. It's not easy to play a gray character. How do you do that?
It takes a bit of a beating. What happens is when you're playing such ruthless, bad people, the entire team is looking at the monitor, waiting for you to do something that scares them or that throws them off, that creeps them out. So part of my work every day is to, when especially playing somebody like Hamza or Satya, is to kind of create an eerie sense of disturbing energy every day, and that's something that people want from you, day in day out. So even if on a day I feel very nice and loving, and I feel like I don't want to be this person,
Right.
I have to do it. It's like an opposite condition of being a comic. Comic always has to make people laugh, right? Even though their life is in a mess and they've had a bad day or a bad heart, they're suffering, but they still have to put up a face where they're making people laugh. So when you play a bad guy, you have to kind of let go of how your day is and then be this menacing creature. So yeah, that becomes a bit of a struggle. And I've seen people scoot around and not be around me when I go back and watch the take, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's so scary to they just saw something we were very disturbed by," and people who love me dearly otherwise as well. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun when you do it. You psych yourself up when you do it, basically.
But see, it's your job as an actor. But how easy or difficult is it for you to detach from a character? Are you like on
It's
and off, or how is it for you?
I mean, I had the tendency to latch on to these characters until the project is done, or sometimes there have been delays, and for months I've kind of, like involuntarily or subconsciously held on to these. But I've learned techniques as to, like, I finished the last day of shoot, I cry with my team, I say bye bye, and then I let go of it.
Nice. So now we'll be seeing you in Devotion of Suspect X. What can you
Yeah,
tell us about your character? What can you reveal?
I just felt like this character is a breath of fresh air for me.
Okay.
Uh, it's something that I've not been looked at this way. Sujoy managed to have a gaze which is very, very interesting. And it's been a challenge in a very different way for me for this part. It's based on an iconic novel, so probably people who know the novel knows the story. So I don't have to like say anything about this. Um, but it became a project in my life where I could genuinely go and have fun, like and not care, and didn't have to do anything that upsets anybody or upsets me. No. Just a place where I completely had. If I had to like metaphorically say, let your hair down, I did that for this one.
Okay. Okay. Vijay, at this point in your career, have you become choosy with the scripts? Like, do you select your scripts now, or what's the criteria now for you?
I've always been selective.
That's
I've been,
visible.
yeah, I've always been selective. I've made, uh, uh, I need to be tempted by the material. Like I have to, and by the makers in a certain way. And I'm used the word tempted in a very, very specific way, and not just
Right,
what it
right.
means. So I've been choosy when I didn't have work as well. When I was an out of work actor, I feel like when you're especially when you're trying to make your mark, when or have people's attention, you better do something that you believe in. You know, uh, quantity has never really been my uh, uh, the way I play the game. I believe in quality. It's something that trickled down from my father. Uh, he drilled that idea in me when I was a little boy. Through the work that he was doing in his business, right? Focused on quality and less on quantity. You make the equal money.
Right.
His business math was very interesting. So yeah, yeah, there are some criteria. They keep increasing as we go along. Because earlier I was okay to play smaller parts, but I decided against it, and I feel like I can engage myself in a bigger capacity projects because people really uh, audience was asking for it. From whatever interactions I've had, they're like, we
True.
expect more from you. Every time you appear on
We
screen, we want
do.
more of you. Yeah.
So yes.
So I heard everybody who complained after season one of She, they're like, why did he die? Uh, and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna hang
I
around
was
for a bit.
expecting to see you in season two, like properly. I'm just hoping season three comes soon and I'm seeing you because Sasya is one of my favorite characters from you. So
Thank you
yes.
so much. Thank you. Satya was a big surprise for me.
Yes. I mean, you were so good. So, I mean, I can talk about it. I can go on and on. So, yes. So, yes. Let
Thank you
me
so much.
read out my next question. It's quite long. Pakya in Rangrace, Ankit in Ping, Ansar in Manto, Moin in Gully Boy, Jigar in Bumfar, Hamza in Darlings, Rashid in A Suitable Boy, Sassa and She, Sajan in OK Computer. I can go on and on. I mean, you've given us some really nice and fine characters. I want to know how do you look back at your journey? Also, was there a time when people said, "Tumse nahi ho paega, tum nahi kar paoge"? Was there a time?
Not in that direct terms. I hope. I mean, I wish nobody ever told me this thing. I might get antagonized, and I might just prove them wrong. But yeah, of course, it was like you were not fit for several things for years. You're close enough, but you're not there. You're older. You're younger. You're this. So all these barricades were created. It's not easy for a boy like me who comes from nowhere to come and get people's attention. And it was through relentless pursuit for certain kind of craft that I was looking at, which got somebody's attention, and that trickled down. That was passed around. I just Somebody saw me doing on something on stage because I was sick of auditioning, so I was performing on stage, and somebody saw it and it's like, we'll call him for this part, and it didn't work out, but he recommended my name to another casting director. So that's how the word got spread. Uh, and every time my film would come out early on, initial years, I would just hope. and I had only one dream from every project. Like, I get another film from this, that's it. Like, hope I get another film after somebody watches this film, So it still holds. I feel like my work draws more work. I don't think I have too much of a presence in the public eye in a way that people want to see more of me. I think people enjoy watching me for my work, and I like to keep things that simple. Yeah.
How would you sum up your 10 years in the industry?
I don't know, man. I feel like somebody else should sum it up for me. Like, how can I sum it up? I think
Incredible.
yeah, it has been incredible, but it's also been if there was a tortoise and a hare story, I would probably be the tortoise.
Yes, yes. I mean, you're slaying it. So, yes. Before I move on to my next question, I can see a lot of sneakers, there. Are you a sneakerhead? Like,
Yeah, I would like to use the term sneaker connoisseur.
okay, okay.
Because
So, what are your go-to
it's not in
brands?
my head, just in my head. It's in my heart, and it's taken up an entire wall,
Oh,
and it just doesn't end.
that's like insane. That's nice. So, most of your money goes in buying sneakers?
Yeah, man. I hope my mother doesn't find this out, or my parents don't, because I spend more money on these than I spend on my car.
Nice. That's nice. That's nice. Vijay, let's get back to it. I wanted to understand, how do you deal with criticism? I mean, how do you take it?
I don't know how to say this without sounding pompous, but I've not really faced criticism.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I can't pick one bad work. So yes, I agree.
With utmost modesty, I have not written a review with like, ये क्या कर रहा था उस show में? ऐसा नहीं हुआ.
So this is one thing about you that I would say as an audience, even if the film is good or bad, your character has always been appreciated. So yes, that has always been there. So yes.
Yeah, like I was part of a project that got blasted by everybody, every critique, most critiques, I would say. But they just had
Yeah.
nice things to say about me. But yeah, it hurt when your film is, or when your story, or when your show is not received well. I really look up to critiques because I feel like those are the people who first uttered my name and nobody knew me. So my loyalty lies towards them. So I want to make sure that people who read cinema, who talks about cinema, who understand cinema, resonates with my work.
True. Also, recently in a roast, you mentioned that you were not too happy about not being on the poster. Does that bother you, like literally?
It was a joke. So they find all the areas that they can target and joke about. So freaking roast. So one of the things that they shared with me before we went is like how they've seen my journey on the poster. Some little here, little somewhere there. In few posters I'm not there. In She Just My half of my cheek is there. In Rangre's half of my face is there. In Monsoon Shootout, Nawaz is here and I'm just like Chutu here. Whereas it could have been the other way around because it was me who was leading the film.
Exactly.
So there was just joking about this, but those jokes didn't make it to the edit. So it just seems like I'm just complaining about because I was across, I was plastered all over the city and the country for Darling. So I didn't mean it at all about for Darling. It was just the journey of my poster,
But
and which is something that bothered me for years until Darling happened. I was very happy. But yeah, I think I need that one quintessential poster.
You'll get soon, that I can say with authority. So yes.
Yeah, it's gonna happen soon. But yeah, and that will be the poster that people will talk about. I'm telling you that much.
And we'll talk again for that. So yes.
For sure.
My last second question would be, do you credit OTT platforms for recognizing you? I mean, audience now know you, and do you credit OTT platforms somewhere somehow for that?
See, they go hand in hand. The social media and the streamers collectively made sure that we didn't miss theaters.
Yes.
especially through the lockdowns. I remember Gully Boy was the last big. I mean, I was in Bagi 3 also. I saw it in theater, and I saw what happens when you sit and watch a movie in theater and how people respond to everything. And in Gully Boy, I went to Gating Galaxy and I saw people dancing and throwing stuff. In Bagi, I
Okay.
saw like kids dancing on stage. So, so I, so that was replaced by people giving you personalized shout outs on social media, watching it with their friends and family and giggling and laughing, putting up stories and writing about you. So I feel like that the ecosystem was created in a different way and very personalized way. The experience is the same somehow. I feel like people are able to focus on the stories more, and we have a lot more variety to pick and choose from. And our palettes have increased tremendously.
True.
जो अपन दाल बाटी चूरमा खाने वाले थे उनको सुशी भी खाने में मजा आ रहा है. So it's happening. So it's all good. I would credit, I think, an alternate ecosystem, which is a collective of social media and streamers together, that is giving people a way to not just watch stories, but to also talk about it at the same time. Then it becomes a community experience.
Also, Vijay, I mean, as I said, you have had an incredible journey so far. I wanted to understand how important at this point is it for you to play a lead, or playing a good character is enough for you? How is it for you?
Uh, I mean, I've decided a couple of years ago that I'd focus on playing the central parts, uh, or the integral parts of the stories, because I feel like I put in so much effort, and I put in my heart and soul, and I can give that kind of time, and I'm not greedy about taking up few projects at the same time. So I like to dedicate my time to one project. So I might as well do engage more, because there have been instances where I'm for one project I'm shooting for like 10 days, but I'm like blocked for 3 months. You get what I'm saying? So I would like to use 60 days in those 90 days instead of using those 10 days.
Yes.
So this is the choice I took, and I've managed to stick to it. So all the upcoming projects that you'll see will have me in either in an author back role or in a very intense, like, central capacity.
That is my last question. What's next? We want more from you. I mean, when I say more, I mean more and more from you. So what's next?
We have some exciting stuff coming out. I think one of the first could be The Heart, that show that I did with Rima Kakti. This is for Prime Video and with Excel, Tiger Baby and Excel. That's super exciting. That's something that we've been cooking for a while, and it's got something very, very interesting about it. And then there is Devotion of Suspect X remake with Joy Ghosh, and there is what else? And actually, there's Mirzapur season 3 coming. We're shooting that.
Okay.
And then there's another show that I did. The working title was M for Mafia. Uh, Again, a 8-part series, solid. I play the main character, a role unlike anything I've ever played before, and a story that needs to be told.
Okay. So are we going to
I'm
see
playing,
you
yeah.
in a mix of like gray characters and fun characters? Is that going to happen? Mix of all sides.
I I would rather wait for you to find out.
I'll wait. I don't miss anything from you, so I'll wait. Sure.
Okay.
For sure. Thank you so much.